Good morning, Rose Red Homestead. And this week is Thanksgiving week, and we've been practicing our off-grid cooking because we're going to have an all off-grid Thanksgiving this year. One of the things that we did, a couple of weeks ago or a week ago or so, was practice our turkey off-grid. We did it on the Traeger, and it turned out to be the most delicious turkey that we have ever cooked. So we'll be showing how to do that on a different video. Today I have the remains of that turkey right here, and I have made some roasted bone broth with these bones, and I have a video on that. That's why I'm not showing that to you in this video. I'll put the link at the very end. And so we have in this pot, my favorite pot, we have 5 quarts of that bone broth, and it is just the most beautiful color. It is so rich and robust, and we're going to make something very special with it today. We are going to make turkey tortilla soup. We love tortilla soup, either with chicken or with turkey. And with the flavors that this turkey produced on the Traeger, we're going to do the turkey tortilla soup. And it's a little bit different than if we were doing turkey vegetable soup. So this, of course, goes to self-reliance and food security, and I think we're going to have about 7 quarts, and they will go on our food storage shelf for emergency preparedness. So this is a fantastic way to prepare the leftovers from Thanksgiving turkey or a holiday turkey or an anytime turkey. So I'm going to set these back aside. And I have here about a quart of meat that I pulled off the turkey bones this morning. So what we are going to do, I'm going to go ahead and start my butane burner here.
You were going.
Thank you, honey. We are going to be doing what USDA called our own recipe of soup. So we're not following a tested USDA recipe, except that they have parameters for us that have been tested so that we can use our own ingredients. And so here goes. I'm going to put in a large can. Now I'm not going to write down the recipe because I do it differently every single time. But just know that I'm starting with 5 quarts of this broth, and I'm adding a 28-ounce can of petite tomatoes. I'm putting in about 2 cups of frozen corn. And I have some dried onions. I'm putting in probably about a half a cup of those onions. If you're going to do fresh onions, you'll want to do about a cup. Then I'm going to be putting in some lime juice. I could use either fresh squeezed limes, or I'm just going to use this because it's going to be cooked anyway. And then when I serve the soup, we will garnish it with limes. All right, so I'm just going to put in 1/4 of a cup of this lime juice. It just gives it such a nice flavor. And for the heat, those of you that have been with us for a while know that I pureed and then freeze-dried and powdered chipotle in adobo sauce. So this is pretty hot heat. So I'm just going to start with about a teaspoon, and you can use any peppers that you want. If I were doing this with chipotles in adobo sauce right out of the can, I would probably just dice up 1 chili, and that's it. So then I'm going to add salt and pepper to taste as we go. I'm going to leave this handy in case I need more. Now, what the USDA says has to happen is that we have to boil it for 5 minutes. It has to come to a rolling boil for 5 minutes. And then we will get it in the jars and process it. This has to be, I'm putting the meat in too. The meat has to heat up. We're going to have more than 7 quarts. Which means we're going to have enough for lunch today. So the whole soup needs to cook, And the meat must be completely cooked through. Well, it is, because it was a turkey that we were practicing with, so it is a roasted turkey. So we're going to let that come to a boil and boil it for 5 minutes. While we do that, I'm going to get the jars out of the dishwasher and set them right here, so we will be all ready to go. So we'll see you in a few minutes. This has just finished boiling for 5 minutes. Now, the next step is a little bit tricky because USDA says that the jars should not be more than half full of solids. Well, we have everything all mixed up together here. So I usually do this in 2 parts. The first thing I do is I just dig in and get some solids, and then I will fill each jar with the solids, some solids, until I have evenly distributed most of the solids. And then I will come back and equalize and get everything equal. So we'll come back after I'm done with the solids in the jars. So there's about this much solids in each of the jars, so that's plenty of, we could have the solids clear up to here. This is all we have. So I distributed it evenly through 7 jars. Isn't this pretty? It has red and yellow and then the meat, and so it's going to be a lovely soup. Then the next thing we do is we come back and we fill in with the broth, and we will leave an inch of headspace. Now, just so that you know, I did add a full tablespoon of salt and another teaspoon of the chipotle powder. And it is absolutely delicious. Now, the thing that you may be wondering about is how will we serve this? Because we didn't put any tortillas in it the way you do with regular tortilla soup. And that is exactly right. We will not put tortillas in it first because they are made with flour and we can't do any thickening agent. The tortillas will thicken the soup. Now, I do a quick and easy way to do tortilla soup when I'm doing it. If I have tortillas on hand, I will tear them up and put them in. But what is easiest of all to do is to just simply get corn chips, and then I crush them up, and then I will put, when I'm heating up a jar of this soup, I will put in a couple of handfuls of crushed corn chips for the tortilla part. And it works so quick and so easy. That way you don't have to fry any, you don't have to make anything yourself. You've got it right there. And then I will serve this with, I will add, when I'm heating it up, some chopped cilantro, and then we'll garnish with cheese or with sour cream and with a slice of lime. And this is such a wonderful soup. In the wintertime, I look forward to fixing this when I get home from work after a hard day because it's so easy and it's so quick. I just take down a jar, throw in the chips, heat it up, add the cheese and cilantro, and you can have a dollop of sour cream on the top if you want, slice a lime, and we're in business. So it is perfect. This will be 7 quarts that we are ready to add to our food storage shelves. And this soup will keep for at least a year, more like 2 years or 3 years. Okay, so we have just a little bit left of the liquid, not enough to have for lunch, but I'll probably have a cup of it. Jim will probably have a cup of it. It's kind of cool out there today. So I have a vinegar dampened paper towel vinegar to cut the fat. And then I'm just going to put on the lid, the ring finger tight. Ooh, these are really hot. Finger tight. And I'm going to finish these, and then I'll meet you outside with the pressure cooker, pressure canner, where we already have the water simmering. All right, so here we are. I have 4 already in the pot. I'm putting the last 3 in. So these are boiling hot soups that we're putting in water that is simmering. Jim will get a shot of this in just a second. Yeah. Okay, so here it is. It is very important when you use a pressure canner that the water does not come up over the top of the jars. This is a little bit more water than we usually use, but it's fine because it does not come up over the lid, and we don't want it over the lid. All right, so now I'm going to put the lid on, checking the gasket to be sure everything is okay here. Dropping the lid in place. We have a dial gauge, and here is where the vent where the weight goes, but not yet. We need to bring this to a boil and let steam spew out here really strongly for about 10 minutes. That will actually reduce the water level, which is fine. What that is doing is replacing the air inside the canner with the steam. So we'll let that vent for 10 minutes, then we'll put the weight on and bring it up to 13 pounds per square inch, PSI, which is what the USDA recommends for our elevation, which is 5,000 feet. So we'll keep it between 13 and 15. We won't let it go below 13. That's what the important thing is. Then the other thing is with soups, because it's mostly liquid and just a little bit of solid, the processing times are less than what you would do for a more viscous mixture. So according to USDA, quarts are 75 minutes, pints are 60 minutes. So we'll process this all the way through according to what I just explained, and we'll come back when these are completely done and ready to take out of the canner. So see you then. All right, we're done. All done. The needle is down to 0. The airlock is down. Let's check to see. Yep, no pressure there. So we're good to go. Let's open this up. Always away from your face. And let's see how they look. Oh, are they just beautiful? Beautiful, beautiful. So we'll leave them out here. Now, we cannot leave them out all night. It's going to be 19 degrees tonight, so we'll leave them out for several hours and let them cool down quite a bit. Then we'll move them in the house. And just so that you remember, these are very liquidy, not soupy yet, just more liquid. And so when you get ready to serve them, what you need to do is add some tortillas, because it is turkey tortilla soup. And so you can either use corn tortillas that you have just torn in shreds. You can use the little strips that are deep fried that you can sometimes buy by the package, or I just buy corn chips and crush them. And oh, there's one that just popped. And then just put them in as I'm heating it up. And the corn chips will disintegrate and thicken the soup. And then when you're ready to serve, you can add some more corn chips on the side. So this is a very nice addition to our, or will be a nice addition to our food storage. I'm very pleased with this. And I will probably make another batch with our Thanksgiving turkey as well. So thank you for being with us on this, and we will see you at our next video.